Hey, what's up interwebs? I'm that toy guy, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Transformers Generations Thrilling 30 Voyager class Soundwave. So here he is, and sadly this was one of the figures that I had bought during the time period of when I didn't keep the boxes, so I don't have the box for this anymore. But I do have my drive test. I passed it, I don't need it anymore. So here is Soundwave in his van mode. Is this a van or is it a truck? I have no clue what this is. But right off the bat, there's a problem with mine, where this wheel, no matter how hard I push down on this, or no matter how much plastic I shave off from the inside, this will never be straight. That kind of sucks, but hey, QC, it happens. But here he is, and he looks cool. I like this. A lot of people don't like the whole Soundwave is a van thing, but I mean, it fits with the video game aesthetic, and it looks really nice. And apparently you can make anything weird and call it Cybertronian, and people will say, yeah, it looks Cybertronian, so this is a Cybertronian van truck thing. That's very dusty, because this is the first time I pulled it off the shelf in a while. But yeah, getting closer on the details. Just zoom in here. You got some real nice purple and some silver going throughout here. This is all gray, but this is silver, and this is silver. You got some more of that purple, and you got some red paint going on here on the side. Some really nice molded in details. I just done something. You have some really nice gold here on the back. Some gray and some red up here at the top, which this looks like a seat, but it's actually the lever to activate the gimmick, which I'll get to more later on. Same detail inside. This shade of blue is different from this shade of blue. I don't understand why, but it is. You get the nice translucent purple wheels. They do come off with the greatest of ease, so there's that. The front here you got some nice silver, and you got the translucent purple to mimic the tape deck chest. Underneath, the only visible robot parts you can see are his thighs, which is nice. So, yeah, this thing is actually really cool. It does roll. Too well, almost. Yeah, for accessories, just take a look at those quickly. He comes with his shoulder-mounted cannon, which has some nice gold paint on the front and some molded detail, and that's about it, really. And it stores right here on top, and it looks ridiculous, but hey, it's Cybertronian, you can get away with it. Then he comes with a disc. Now I love how they brought this back. This is Laserbeak. This is the Cybertronian tape version of Laserbeak. It's basically called the data disc, and he has a very big maze on the top. I encourage anyone to try and solve it. Although I just found a whole bunch of ways you can, so yeah. The bottom you just have some silver paint, but that's more for bird mode. Whereas there's this button here that you push, and it's an activator basically. It'll spring in. So there you go. And there you have Laserbeak. And all the paint that is on this figure was all the paint that was in disc mode. That's it. There is no paint on this head sculpt here, which looks very Laserbeaky. You have the wings, which have some cannons here on the front. You got some nice molded in detail here on the tail, and underneath you got some black and you got that silver. It is pretty floppy, but yeah, that's okay. For a little comparison, here he is next to a Minicon from RID. So yeah, they're the same size. And here he is next to Skydive. So he does have a place to store in Mr. Wave here. So what you want to do is you want to take the wings and fold. Everything here is connected. So you just fold it back, then fold this down, then fold the one wing in, and hold it all together when folding the other wing in. Because if you don't and you just push this in, there's like hardly any place to. Oh, see, it's falling apart. So you gotta hold everything down when putting that last wing in. Now he's back into disc mode. And on Soundwave, you just want to smush this and then push this little gray button right there. That'll open up his chest. He can hold up to 3, I think. I think it's 3. I don't know it anymore, so I think it's 3. But you take this and you just push it in there. And close that up. And there you have Laserbeak stored in... Come on. In Soundwave. And I think that's really cool. I love how they brought that back for this figure. Now, for comparison, here he is next to Hailstorm. That's him next to a deluxe. Here he is next to Skydive. Yeah. I used to have an original Cassette Man, not Soundwave, but the predecessor to Soundwave, which was Cassette Man. I used to have that. Then I sold it, and I regret it, and I really want to get a new G1 Soundwave so I can compare it to that masterpiece Soundwave whenever I do end up getting it. But here he is next to Brawl, who is a deluxe that is about as long as a Voyager. So yeah, there's that. So, I guess there's nothing left to do but to get on to transformation. And you can leave all the accessories in here during transformation. I'm going to take this off though. So, yeah, oh, one more thing I forgot to mention is that when you push this button here, you can slide the Laserbeak out by pushing this. It just doesn't work very well in vehicle mode. So, I'll get to that when we get to robot mode. So the first thing you want to do is you want to flatten the chest like I did there. Then you want to take this section at the top and fold it up. Then you want to come back here and just lift these gray pieces up as far as they'll go, with, well, up to about there. And take this entire rear section here and bend it out. Just like that. Then you want to fold these down all the way, flip out the feet, and take these sections and rotate them 180 degrees till you hit them soft click. Like that. Then you want to take this section here and unclip it and bring the crotch up, plug it in. And there you have Grr Truck mode. No, sorry. But yeah, once you have that done here, you want to come around to the back, raise the camera, because he's gonna get tall and tall. And you can see my wall. You want to take this section at this hinge and bend it down, all the way down. Then at this hinge, bend it up and slide it on that same hinge. Just like that. Then you want to come around to the front here and open these up. Come around to the side. Ratchet those out. Just like so. Then you want to take these sections here and pop them out. Just like that. They're on a double hinge, so you just want to shift it up as far as it'll go. Fold this panel back, fold the wheel back, bring the arm down, rotate it, flip out the hands, like so. Do the same on this side, shift it up, fold that back, and flip out the hand. And then you want to take the head and rotate it all the way around. Ow. You hurt your fingers in the process. And there you have Soundwave in his robot mode. And I can't find where I... never mind, I found it. And you want to take this cannon and peg it into that little port on his shoulder there. And there you have Soundwave complete in his robot mode. And yes, he does have the gorilla arm syndrome. That was in the instructions. That's how you do it. But, I mean... Come on, rotate the fists, flatten them out a little bit, and rotate the arms. There you go. Now he looks proper. So there you have Soundwave all completely finished in his robot mode. And this looks really, 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 really cool. This thing looks awesome. It looks like Soundwave. It looks like a very menacing version of Soundwave. You got the claws here and the spiky shoulders and the spindly arms and the pointy feet. But yeah, all around this, he does have quite a bit of a backpack, but that's due to the gimmick, which I'll get to after I show off the articulation. But first, take a look at that head sculpt. And that is a very, very, very Soundwavy looking head sculpt. And what's cool is that the Decepticon symbol is right there, although it's faint, but you can tell that's where the Decepticon logo comes from. It's a variation of Soundwave's head. And they match that up really, really well on this mold, which I think is nice. But overall, there's a lot of sculpt detail going throughout this figure here. And a lot of nice painted work. Like this front of the crotch is painted, not the whole crotch, but just the front. But at least they painted something. But they painted it in blue, and they matched it pretty well to this. I don't know why they couldn't match this up, but they could. Got some nice gold. You got the gray feet. 4 gray feet. You got the knee pads here. You got some nice sculpt work going down the shoulder. And the arm here. And the hands. You have one hand molded with a trigger finger sort of pointing out, and you have one solid fist. So just get him standing again. But yeah, this thing is very cool. I really do enjoy this figure. Articulation wise, the head can swivel. You can rotate a full 360, but mine is on such a stiff joint that I don't want to do that. Arms can do a full 360 degrees. They can go out that far on that hinge, and then you have a separate hinge here that can get the arm to go all the way out there, which is awesome. And you can use the double joint if you want to. You can shift the arm down, and I'll show you why that's useful in a minute. He does have a bicep swivel. Single jointed elbow that bends more than 90 degrees due to transformation, and the hands can go forward and backwards, and they can rotate. Nothing at the waist due to the way this guy transforms. Legs can go forward, they can go back, they can go in and out. He does have a thigh cut, single jointed knee that bends at 90 degrees, and the feet can pivot down. They're also molded at an angle, so he does get that sort of A stance going there, which is nice. Now, one thing I'm going to show off quickly here is that you can make him push his own button. That sounded weird. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to take the double hinge and shift it down. That way you have enough clearance for his arm to move up so that he can look like he's pushing the button. Yes, it looks like he dislocated his shoulder, but if you leave the double joint up here, he cannot reach. So that's why I shift the joint down when I do this. And when you push the button, pew, the chest opens. That is the main gimmick of this toy, is that he can hold up to 3 data discs. You push this big backpack section here, and he's supposed to launch and transform, but that, I mean, come on. Let's try that again. Let's put him in backwards, see if that helps. Hey, he did it. But yeah, he can launch Laserbeak and Ravage, Rumble, Frenzy, and Buzzsaw, and there was no Rat-Bat released, because how do you make a disc into Rat-Bat? But yeah, there is some nice, there is some nice molded in detail inside here as well. They even molded this in, which they didn't have to, but they did anyway. Even underneath this chest plate, there's some silver paint going on, which I think is just really cool. Let's get Laserbeak transformed here. Now, the one major issue I have with this figure is that he doesn't come with a gun. Granted, he comes with this, but he doesn't come with his own, like, handheld weapon like the blaster version did. Which kind of bugs me a little bit. Like, I really wish he had a gun. I mean, you can easily, just taking the shotgun here, you can easily take the shotgun and give him that, but he should come with his own gun. I mean, that's Soundwave. He always had his, what was it, that weird one that looked like this, just with things sticking out of the front. But yeah, I wish he came with that. But, yeah, oh well. But for comparison, here he is next to Skydive, who really wants his shotgun back. Why did I say it in that sort of accent? Alright. Here he is next to a modern rebooted Legends figure. As you can see, they are not to scale. And just to give Bionicle fans a sense of scale, here he is next to a Bionicle. As you can see, they're about the same height. I mean, the Bionicle yes is a little bit taller, but yeah, so. And here he is next to a G1 toy. As I drop everything, here is G1 Astro Train. Just quickly. So yeah, now this guy does, you know what, here, get this out here. This guy does have a secret third mode. Shh! Don't tell anyone. It's a secret. It's a secret. Don't tell anyone. Just getting Laserbeak off there. Now, you can obviously guess what this secret third mode is going to be. This third mode is, yes, a tape deck. And there are many variations to it, other people's ways of doing it. I have a certain way of doing it. Someone else probably has the same exact way of doing it, but I'm going to show you how to get to that. Excuse me. So, the first thing you want to do is you want to remove said cannon at the top and chuck it off to the side for now. Then you want to take the hands and fold them up. Just like so. Fold these back panels out here, bring this around, fold them down, clip them into place, just like so. You want to bring these sections forward, fold these down, just like that. Well, bring this section up first. Then you want to close up this top section right here. Then you want to come down here to the legs, bring them out and around like that, so that this part, which was on the side of his hip, is now facing forward. Bring the foot up. Well, first you want to fold these sections out actually. Then bring these back all the way. Then rotate these up, just like that. Do the same thing on this side, like so, as everything comes untabbed. Stay. You just want to take these and just fold them back here, just to hold everything in place. And this acts as a stand at the back. And there you have Soundwave in tape deck mode. And this gimmick still works. Still take Laserbeak, fold him up, and shove him in the disc thing. Although it does make the stand stick out a bit more, that's okay. So yeah, and you can take this section here, peg it in right here, where it was pegged in before, just sideways now, and there's the battery. So yeah, there is Soundwave in his tape deck mode, and it looks like a tape deck, a Cybertronian tape deck. It looks like that thing that the guy was sitting on in the actual Fall of Cybertron video game. For comparison, here is Skydive. So yeah. This is how I display this guy. This guy stays in this mode till I get a proper tape deck Soundwave, which again, hopefully will happen soon. Masterpiece Soundwave is one of my favorites, so yeah. So yeah, that has been my look at the Transformers Generations Thrilling 30 Voyager class Soundwave from the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron video game. And I'm that toy guy, and stay tuned for my next video.